Section 10.6, how to solve the radical equations. We understand that radical 9 is 3, because 9 is 3 to power of 2, and the root of radical is 2, so 3 is released from the radical. But we understand radical 4 is 2. So if we give you an equation and say radical x is equal to 3, find x. How do you find the x for these radical equations? You already know the answer. This x is not, right? To solve the radical equations, you square both sides to power of 2, in this case. And what is radical x to power of 2? X. So when you raise it to power of 2, radical is removed. Why? Look, radical x to power of 2 means what? Means radical x times radical x. Remember, if you take a radical and multiply by itself, the radical is removed. Why? Because it's radical x to power of 2, x times x, and then x is released. So x is 9. How do you find it? So how do I say radical x equal to 7? How do I find the x? Raise it to power of 2. X is 49. So now, here in this example, I have radical 3y plus 1 equal to 7. Okay? How would I solve that? Let me show you the solution for that. I raise both sides to power of 2. When you raise both sides to power of 2, entire radical is removed. 3y plus 1 is removed from the radical. And then you solve this equation. I'll show you how to solve the equations. So again, solve the radical. If radical has to be by itself, then you raise it. Why we raise it to power of 2? Because the root is 2. But if the root is 3, then you have to raise it to power of 3. Now, when you want to work on solving the radical equation, the only way you could raise it to power of 2 or power of 3 is radical is alone. Here is not alone. It's radical y plus 4 minus 2 equals. So first, I have to move this negative 2 to the other side. You do that first. Now you could go ahead and work on this one, because you have one single radical on one side and 6. Raise both sides to power of 2. Radical is removed. And then you solve the equation. And it's always a good idea for the radical to check to make sure your answer is also correct. What it is, when you find the final answers, then you take the answers and plug into the general equation to see if it works or not. Now, this one, do we raise it to power of 2? No, you raise it to power of 3 because the root is 3. See? Both sides to power of 3. So radical is removed. And that gives you the x. We raise both sides to power of 2. What do you have? 81x is x2. Now you bring this to that side, factor. There are 2 answers for these problems. We raise it to power of 3. Find x. Radical x is -8. If the root of radical is even, like here in 2, you cannot have the negative number here. That's wrong. You cannot find a square root of any number which is negative. But let's say we don't know that. We don't know the root. We just go ahead and raise both sides to power of 2. Then we say, okay, here would be radical x to power of 2 is just x. And what is negative a to power of 2? 64. Now, you think 64 is the right number, correct? Let's try it. Let's take that 64 and put it here to see if radical 64 is negative 8. No, radical 64 is 8. It's not negative 8. Then you know this problem was wrong in the first place. So no solutions. Radical cannot be negative unless it's odd number. If it's odd numbers, it's okay. Just be the even exponent. Like if you have radical x, 4, 6, you cannot have the negative number. The odd side cannot be negative. This one, remember, before you solve the problem, you have to have radical by itself. So you move negative to the other side first. Then you raise both sides to power of 4. When you do that, 5x plus 6 is released from the radical. And 3 to the power of 4 is 81. And the rest is just a simple equation to solve. You have radical on each side. Okay, raise both sides to power of 2. Both radical is removed. Okay. So then it would be minus 3y here, minus 3y here, negative 4, negative 4. Y is negative 3. Okay, let's check. I'll test the negative 3 and put it here. No solution. I think I forgot to put a 12 here. I'm sorry. There is a 12 here. I thought this is 1. So that make a difference. Well, maybe not. 4 from 12 is 8, positive 8. When we put 8 here, then it's fine. Then both works because it would be, sorry about that. 32 plus 4 is 6. Radical 36 is 6. And this is 3. So it is correct. So this is the correct answers. All right. So that's how to solve the radical equations.